And with that, it's time to start our meeting. Welcome, everybody. Glad you're all able to make it out. Glad that we have people both online and in person. If you haven't had a chance for the in-person people, sorry, online people, but we have donuts today that the council purchased from the Other Side Donut Shop over on Redwood Road, one of our newer but really great locations around town. I mean, except diabetes. But other than that, like the donuts are really great. So I'm Daniel Tutau. I am the chair of the community council. We're glad to have you all here. Just want to recognize some of the members of the board that we have here. We have Karen, Anthony, Jordan, Ben, Ricky, Jason. So if you have problems, it's not just me. We all share the blame. So let me just get, I realize we might not be screen sharing now, so we'll just start. All right, great. Okay, so we'd like to go ahead and start off with some of our agenda items. I don't think we have fire department here this week. We had a nice this month. We had a nice visit for them last month. They came out in full force with a lot of great updates. Police stuff. Detective Oliver, we got you on the virtual line.
I don't have anything, thanks. Just kidding. All right. What questions do we have? Oh my gosh, I got a video of myself up here. That's terrible. I'm turning the video off. Okay. What questions do we have? Questions, concerns? I know Ricky's gonna have one.
So, your arrest from yesterday. I texted you, like,
Okay, I can't quite hear you, but is it about the text? The text you sent me?
yeah, so like what was happening yesterday? So you had now 4 arrests from that house in less than a year. What more needs to happen? Like, like the last 2 times you've had crime scenes, you've had detectives, you've had like more than 5 to 6 SWAT cars pull up on that house, go inside and like put yellow tape up and take pictures, and like the guy that keeps renting it still lives there, keeps bringing prostitutes and homeless people and drug traffickers and everybody else off the street. And I keep sending you guys videos and keep calling and I keep seeing it happen. But then, like, you'll go in and you'll raid the house and you'll take out like one prostitute, but then you'll leave the guy that's actually doing all of the stuff out of like in the house.
Yeah, I'm trying to follow the case. I got it pulled up right now. The last one. It doesn't show an arrest, even though you said that it looked like there was an arrest from those videos. But well, let me look again. So we do have some suspects. It looks like from that location. As far as arresting it's really hit and miss. I mean, that's a way a lot of our drug dealers are getting away with what they're getting away with, is because they know how to play the system. And unfortunately, it sounds like he is playing the system better than anybody.
You've been inside that, like the officers have been inside of that house dragging people out, and the guy has like yesterday he came out when he was like he just got out of the shower, he was like still wet, and he just like walked out. He talked, the cops stopped him, he like I don't know what excuse he said, and then he just like sauntered off. 2 prostitutes waited for him at the top of the library. They like met up with him, they like just went down south, and then like he waited till the cops were pretty much almost gone, and then he showed back up and just waltzed into his house. And I was like, damn, it must be nice if like cops raided my house, got a bunch of drug dealers and unsavory folk, and I just nothing ever happened to me.
Well, and
But
I can't tell you for sure as to if he's been arrested or not, or if he's out of jail on probation or what he's got going on right now. But if the officers have been in the house and we are getting arrested, that's that's the best thing we can see. It's just we got to get the right person apparently. So I will put that back to our officers that are responding to that and also watching that house. They know who the guy is, so we know who the guy is. You know who the guy is. So we're just going to continue to hit it. The
like,
good thing is you are seeing arrests come out of that house.
yeah, I mean it's true. Like I'm glad that there's like stuff happening, but it's just like This guy will literally like grab a backpack on the side of his house, slink over to Chapman. He'll go inside. He'll drop off the bag. He'll come back with like a homeless woman, take her back to his house. She'll be in that house for 2 or 3 days, and she'll slink out with a bunch of his crap. He'll come running out. Like it's a cycle. It's a cycle, and I feel like at some point, like every house on my street so far is now pretty much cleaned up, which has been great. But he's like that one, the one next to him are just like the last two lingering ones where it's like all the bad stuff is happening. Police keep showing up to those places, but like nothing happens. Like we all know what the problem is, and yet we don't want to like tackle the problem. You know?
Well, we can only do what the law allows us to do. That's the unfortunate part. If we've got some good legal precedents that we can get an arrest out of it, that's great. But just to go in and arrest him for what we're not sure of or what we can't prove in court, that's the hard part. It is difficult because now we arrest him, he doesn't go to court, now he's emboldened even more. So we really have to be careful on some of the arrests that we do to make sure that they go through the whole court system and that it's followed through legally.
Yeah. Get it. Just like, I don't understand how it keeps like slipping away while like all the people that he brings off the street to like, do all the bad stuff with gets pegged to the wall, but he's like, no, it's fine. Like, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, and let me reach out to our detectives and see what's going on with that. But as far as we really got to be careful when it comes to who we arrest. We have to have a justifiable cause to do that. So, and I can't tell you that we haven't arrested him because there's probably a likelihood that he has been arrested and he's just back out. So that's the other hard part.
Oh, yeah.
But I've got all your texts and stuff. I'll be following up with you.
I actually had one question. Is there any, and this might be a city question as well, if there's an ice cream truck that's blasting really loud in the neighborhood, is there any recourse to like stop that? I don't, I'm not, I mean, I don't have a problem with ice cream trucks, but we've been getting some messages from mainly one person, and another person agreed with it, but that was complaining that, like the ice cream trucks will like come and like park near their house and just be like super loud for like 20 minutes while they're just sitting there blasting their music. Um, is that a thing that we can do something about? I guess
Yeah, it's a noise ordinance. It's absolutely a noise ordinance. Now, unfortunate part with our department is the health department has to record and get a measurement on the noise and see what
decibels.
yeah. That's the hard part for us. We don't carry around a little thing to check the decibels. But absolutely, you can call us on it. We can go over and ask them to turn it down. There's no issues with that at all. So yeah, feel free to call on any kind of type of noise ordinance or noise that's disturbing.
Okay, great. And that's just like the non-emergency number?
Yep, 799-3000.
Okay, great. Well, follow.
Has anybody just gone to the ice cream truck, bought an ice cream and they said, you know what, it's really loud. You can't just sit here and park by my house. Could you guys please just drive around?
I'm not sure if that's happened, but also, um, yeah. I mean, you can ask all you want, but then they just go around the corner and then they come back the next day or whatever. So
They do, even if you say.
I mean, I'm asking on behalf of someone who emailed the council, not knowing what to do about this. And I guess I agree too, especially with the pingy sound, even though it really cuts. Anyways, thanks, detective. Anyone else with questions before he gets into stats? It's all yours. If you have any stats or anything you'd like to report for us.
Sure, we'll just go through this real quick on our public safety plan dashboard. We are continuing to see officer proactivity, which is a sign of we've got officers and they're able to do things outside of running from call to call. So we've seen an increase of 20.2% from last year. Continue to see that. That's a fantastic number to see. Our top 5 offenders for April 20th or up to April 20th have been booked into jail 12 times, and we've got over 70, about 60 something citations issued. So that's just our top 5 offenders. So we can see that they're continuing to be kind of a problem. We are working, the chief has just been fantastic working with SimGill and trying to get those top offenders to stay in jail or to get some of the resources that might be needed for them. Our citywide crime to date has actually dropped. We are, year to date, we're down 2.3% in violent crime, 20% in property crime. If we flip over to Poplar Grove, we are actually had a little bit of an increase just by one of a rape in the Poplar Grove area. We've seen a decrease of two robberies. Actually, we didn't have any robberies this month, which I got to question the stats, but that's fantastic if that's the case. And we have seen we've seen 5 domestic violence cases and 6 non-family aggravated assaults. So we've had a total of 18 violent offenses in Poplar Grove area and 49 property offenses. Now, in all, we are down 38.3% in all total crime for this for a 3-year average. So that's been good. That's fantastic, actually. That's really good. Our number one thing, though, we are seeing is just theft. So a lot of theft coming from stores, convenience stores, things like that. We're seeing a lot of that. We saw 30. So believe it or not, that's actually down 7 from a 3-year average as well. So that's great. We are seeing the numbers decrease a little bit. Let me flip back over here. We have had, just so you're aware, in the North Temple Jordan River Trail Focus area, we've had 3,633 calls for service, 463 jail bookings, and 410 misdemeanor citations to this point. Compared to the downtown area, I just like to compare them a little bit. We've had 6,000 calls for service, almost 800 jail bookings, and then compare that to ballpark area. We've had 428 calls for service, 82 jail bookings, and 58 misdemeanor citations. So, as I hate to say it, as it starts to warm up, we are going to see a little bit more activity, especially along the parkway. And in some of the parks, we're continuing to hit that. We do have more officers that we have available to respond to those instead of just patrol officers that are already super busy as it is. That's all I've got, unless there's more questions or concerns that you have. Oh, I'm super excited about the mural.
Yeah, we're gonna be talking about that in just a little bit here too. So awesome. Thanks, Detective.
Yep, I'll be online if you need anything.
Great. And then we always have his number in our update that we send out after the meeting as well. So maybe no updates from our legislators this month, though we will soon have a new one there. Mayor's office. Floor is yours.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi.
So my name is Alicia. I'm your community liaison to the mayor's office. Okay. Yes. There are 2 notices that I need to give you, and it's not on my slide, so I think I'll do it at the end. That's why I was thinking of it. So the city condensed all of the information for you to shape the city with your feedback in one single hub, which is Shape SLC. Has anyone used that link? Or awesome. So if you go to shapeslc.gov, you will go and see many projects that are happening throughout the city that are being proposed, and you can participate, give your input. So one of them is expanding housing options. There's 8 days left for you to provide information. The goal of this proposal, let's see. So the amendments, well, no, not good. Not gonna go there yet. The goal is to create gentle infill opportunities that fit in with the character of low density Salt Lake City neighborhoods. So it says expanding housing options is a change to zoning rules that would give property owners in lower density neighborhoods more options for how they use their property. The change would make it possible to build more types of housing like smaller homes and townhomes while still preserving the character and unique qualities of each neighborhood. There's much more information online, so please go to shape.slc.gov and participate. You can also scan the QR code there, and there's a link. Thank you. The next program that's up for grabs, which ends on, oh, wait. We're in April, right? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
My brain is tired. Okay,
Mm.
we're almost in May. So applications opened in April 15th. You can apply for landscaping equipment. You'd basically swap out your, what is it, the gas
Mowers and.
yes, anything that's gas powered, you can exchange it for electric options. So it says recycle a gas powered handheld tool for $155 voucher towards one battery operated handheld tool. Recycle a gas powered lawnmower for $295 of a voucher towards a one battery operated lawnmower. So if you're interested, scan the QR code.
And then they have the
And-
non-op, if you don't have anything to trade in, you can still get credit, just not as much if you're just. So I've done this over the past few years
We
and
did it.
replaced all my
Nice.
gas powered tools with.
Send a flyer that they're doing it too. You can,
Thank you for that.
I don't
Yeah.
Really?
know. You guys do like, I just bought like a electric lawnmower. You do like reimbursements for that?
No,
dang.
that becomes a credit that you take to specific stores that sell the specific items that are on the list.
Folks doing it.
This is an incredible program. I'd love it. I was wondering, is there a plan to implement it with people who work with the city? We have a lot of contractors that work and leaf blow, and they all use gas leaf blow.
Great question.
Wondering if that would be.
That is a good question.
In
You.
the past, they've done a commercial tier of this. I mean, it's been a few years since they did that.
Okay.
A lot of times it's more difficult with the commercial ones because like if you're at your home, you charge your battery, you blow your house, but like the commercial people, they're doing it all day long.
Yeah.
So like financially, they need to get like so many batteries to be able to run electric gear for longer. But I mean, that's still good feedback to say
For
that,
sure.
to ask that, but I do know that they did do a commercial version of it a few years back. At one point, I mean, I saw that it existed. I didn't look into all the details because I don't run a commercial thing, so I didn't really care, but I did trade in my lawnmower and last year I got the non-owned voucher for electric trimmer, which is kind of fun.
Sweet.
But yeah, there's certain models, the details are on the website, but it's a really cool program and it's good to sort of get less
Yeah.
fumes because per cap, like
Noise.
space, like it's not the noise, but like they're unregulated engines.
Yeah.
So like a lot of times like those leaf blowers actually put out like as much or more pollution than a car, even though it's smaller because of
Yeah.
how it runs. So
But it cuts down noise pollution and air pollution and.
Yeah.
Probably money, saves you money as well.
I want to thank you all for participating based on your experience, based on what you receive at home, like the flyers from the Home Depot, and then those great questions. Because you complement the presentation, it's based on your experience, based on what you're, receiving on a daily basis, extra information. So thank you.
Can I say Ace, I heard someone did Ace Hardware too, so
Yeah.
that's kind of not only Home Depot.
That's
Yeah.
right.
You could go to other places.
Yes.
if you want
Thank
craftsman, I'm a craftsman guy, so.
do. Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Sears. Oh, that doesn't
No
exist.
more Sears.
I know,
Oh, yeah, no.
I know.
Does it? No. Okay, so currently we're in a stage 2 drought. And local government is being required to reduce water usage by 10%. We are encouraging a voluntary reduction from you all and businesses, and the goal is to conserve water. So there's a watering guide, there's the link. Let's see. There's more information on that. There's a post online as well. I'll check it out after we get through the slides. So just wanted to bring attention to that. The next slide is on budget reminders. So May 5th, the mayor will present her proposed budget to City Council. And the first public hearing is May 19th. The second public hearing is June 2nd. And the budget must be adopted by June 30th. Please submit your feedback, your recommendations, suggestions, scan the QR code and visit the link. Next slide. Okay. Oh. Okay. My information should have been there, but it's not.
Oh, there.
Oh, there it
This
is.
You're
Oh, okay.
both of you on. Sorry.
All right, so,
You just changed your name.
yeah, so what we do in the office is, at times when we don't have the headspace, because we're so busy with meetings and many other commitments, then we share our PowerPoints. And so today was my day that I took in community, like walk-ins in the office. And I was running around doing meetings. And by the time it was 4 PM, I'm like, I am so wasted. Like, I don't have the headspace. So I went to Hannah and said, hey, what did I talk about this month?
Lock it down.
And she's like, oh, I have slides. I'm like, fantastic. So I borrowed them. That's what happened. Yeah. All right. So the Salt Lake City Engineering office asked me to share this information with you, and it is a proposed indefinite closure of 200 South between Montgomery Street and 1640 West. So Salt Lake City is considering an indefinite closure of that portion to establish a new railroad quiet zone. And it's an area where train horns are not routinely sounded at crossings except in emergencies. You may share feedback by May 17th. And comments go to council. So it's council.comments@slc.gov. There's a flyer that I need to send to the board, so if you can post it online, because I know you have a section on there. I don't know, I think,
On the newsletters.
Yeah,
newsletter, right? You can probably post online
uh,
for folks to get this information and scan the QR code.
oh yeah, so I mean, we send out, we
Oh,
send out a
okay.
reminder each month.
Okay. Great, so that's that information.
So is that a complete closure of that part of 200 South?
Well, it's between 200 South and 1578 West.
Yeah, so,
you're right around
Is he, are you pulling it up?
yeah, I was gonna pull it up. It's over like right, no, it's right in that corner, right under, that goes under Redwood Road.
Let's see, the public hearing is May 19th, I believe I said, at 7 PM is tentative.
basically removing the railroad crossing.
The section going under the bridge?
No, it's just the railroad crossing.
Wait,
That would make sense for them to have,
Because there's a railroad crossing there.
if they could make it a quiet zone, then they wouldn't have to have a crossing.
so if,
Or if they didn't have.
oh yeah, if
Aren't
they
there
didn't have a
some
road
businesses
there.
that Use that road in that
That
area?
road is used.
And there's, the report said there's less than 500 cars a day. It is used, but it's not used as much as the rest of the neighborhood is. And so
It's the underpass that goes under Redwood Road, that little pocket where this is going up over to, over the 80, so it's this road over here.
That's Montgomery. It's a crossing.
Would it be close to bikes as well?
That I don't know. That information is not in the email that I received.
But
Yeah.
just going over those tracks right there, right?
Just, yeah, this part right
that
here.
section going over the tracks, not the underpass area, or not the rest of that business would be open from the other end. It would just dead end on both ends.
So you have to go all the way down to 4 South to get around, right?
Yeah, but I mean, again, that's the 200 that dead ends, I mean,
It
I
doesn't.
mean, it's not dead end, it curves. I mean, it doesn't continue through, so.
Great.
There's no sidewalks there right now. There's stuff. A lot of pedestrians.
So every time the train crosses Second South right there, it's going off. The train is forward, right?
Yeah.
Oh, like that?
Yep, there's homes there.
Yeah, there's homes right there.
So if they have questions or concerns, is that gonna, we'll put that in the email? Is that what you're saying? You'll
Yes.
email that over to
Yes.
us? Okay,
I'll send you the details of what they include in the email with the flyer. And then I also received an internal text from the Community and Action, Community and Neighborhoods Department. And here's the information. So on May 27th at 5:30 PM, which I should send you this as well.
okay.
Let's see, May 27th at 5:30 PM, Neighborhood House. Join us for a community ride celebrating 2 new protected bikeways on 400 South and 300 West. The 400 South Viaduct Trail is one of only 2 train-free crossings in the city, and it features Strut, the longest public artwork in Utah. The 300 West protected lane ties directly into the route through the heart of the city. Afterwards, planners and artists behind the project will be on hand to answer questions. They'll wrap up at Neighborhood House in time for Poplar Grove Community Council meeting and celebrate.
So, yeah, next month. I'm
May.
glad I got asked about it, but we didn't get all the details yet
Okay.
about it. So basically, before this meeting next month, the overpass, 400 South overpass, and we had a presentation of that like 2 years ago when they were brainstorming it. And then they've been putting it in, and so it'll be celebrating that. So I guess we're gonna start with the bike ride, starting here, going over, coming back,
Like 4.5 miles.
and then hanging back out over here. So it should be fun. So
If you haven't seen the artwork, it's actually pretty cool, especially when the sun's shining through it, because you can see all the colors. And the interesting thing about it is they put it all up, and then they took it all back down, and I thought, what the heck? Well, they put it up backwards.
Oh, they did.
They did. Anyway, it's pretty cool. It, I mean, it looks really simple, but it's pretty cool.
It is simple, but really, yeah, cool with the sun and the light, changing of the light, yeah.
So thanks so
Yeah.
much. If you have any questions that are city related that the mayor's office can help with, she's the woman to connect with, so.
Right, what
Yeah.
time next month for the bike ride?
Find out about the Jordan River Bridge on 4 South being taken out.
No, I don't
No.
remember.
No, I thought they were doing 500 and 600 South.
It's infrastructure.
They're working on the
Yeah,
500
the
South
bridge
right now.
is
Right
cracked.
here.
Yeah, we were told that they were going to be taking that out at some point.
And
We built
replacing
back
it.
in.
Who told you?
The
Surveyors.
surveyors and the guys that were out there measuring and.
Let me check in my engineering. Yes.
What about the pickleball courts at the park? That was slated to happen, and we keep not having as years ago. It was slated to happen years ago. We've been told the plans are already there. It just keeps getting pushed back as far as timeline goes in construction. So I want to, address that.
Pickleball's where, I'm sorry?
No, the Poplar Grove Park.
Okay,
We had a rough update from them
Oh,
that
that's
basically
great.
said that it got delayed because basically there was a CIP grant for this project, and then years later, they got a CIP grant for this second project on the same park. And then they ended up combining them. And then so it meant that the first project got pushed back to coincide with the second one. And I've been in contact with them, and hopefully we'll have them come in next month and do a better update on that. But
So
that's the preview update to the real update, which is.
Isn't it interesting that they're working really hard on Pioneer Park again?
Oh, that's not all.
But they haven't done Poplar Grove Park?
We were approved that before Allen Park was even owned by the city.
Thanks for stirring the pot, Karen.
Fairmont Park is getting remodeled too, again.
okay,
Since this.
so are you coordinating or do you want me to coordinate with public lands? To ensure that they come
Well,
next month?
it's like a combination of public lands and also
We'd
like.
love a
art.
representative from the mayor's
like
office to help also dual front the effort.
Yeah, so if you can look into that,
Yeah.
and I will loop you in with my emails, but then you
Okay.
also press in between the two sides.
Okay, okay, we've been in some emails. Okay, so hold on to that comment. And then that additional, information, so that when they come back, then they can answer to you directly on why
Yeah.
things have happened that way.
It's been like
I'm just, they
years.
don't need to justify their Pioneer Park thing. I just think that.
No, but it's good to know what why, the whys. I think it's
They
important.
don't have an answer for why. Their Fairmont Park is being redone too. They got the money last year and they're doing it this year. Out of the blue. There was no CIP, there was no nothing. They just said, we're doing this.
Okay, well, unfortunately, I don't have the response. Thank you for asking, and I will follow up with engineering and public lands and maybe art so they can come next
Yeah.
month.
They do have a Friends of the Fairmont Park that is a coalition of neighbors who really raise money for the park, and so they might have a
No, the
little
money's there.
sway.
They already had money.
For many years. Do you have a new question?
Yeah, I do. On the other side of my
fence between my fence and the Jordan River. They're cleaning the trail and across the street, but I'm all overgrown. I mean, last year when the bugs set the campfire and set my fence on fire, and the guys come out and they cleaned it all up. And
Now they
it's
have it
all
repaired.
overgrown. I'm just wondering. It's gonna
That
dry
might be,
out.
that might be a good, my SLP app.
Yeah.
Are you
So
familiar?
you're talking about
North,
waste?
south, and
Well, so I'm mentioning that there's an app that the city has to report issues that you see with the city, and that might
I
be.
called,
Did,
yeah.
She's called, left messages. I've done it in the past. And
so,
there was a fire
So
last year
towards
that
the end of the meeting, will you give me your address so that I can follow up with whoever takes care, well, public lands or, it depends, yeah. Follow up
They
with
did a
them?
beautiful job clearing it all out and
Okay.
whatever. We don't want the bonfires because I can't see out that vinyl fence
Okay,
anymore.
Yeah,
They
let's
start
check in at
camping
the
over
end.
there.
And we've already had to replace
Okay.
a portion once because they lit a fire over
So-
there and.
so this is a great example. If you all are waiting for an update or maybe something to move, to move along to get it resolved. And you're not getting a response, you have my contact information, text me, call me and say, hey, there's a lot of, I've been waiting a long time for this, a response to this. Can you check in with whatever department you're handling your case with, and then I'll move the ball along. It works.
Yeah, in
So
the
please
past,
don't
I
wait.
fought with the guy that's over it. I
Okay,
even told him I was gonna move the fence over and he told me to move it back. And
Yeah.
I said, that's you guys' responsibility.
yeah, please
Yeah, but-
don't wait. Maybe wait a week, maybe, I don't know what. Just call me. If it doesn't move faster or, within 48 hours, you don't get a response, call me and text me, whatever, and I'll help you out.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
great. Alejandro, don't see him online. Dave, any updates?
Yeah.
So next section is kind of our community partner people, the good organizations in the neighborhood, get some time. So we'll start here and then if there's anything over here. And then they're not on the list, but we'll have some time for here for the libraries. So we'll start with Dave from NeighborWorks.
Hey, everybody. My name's Dave. I'm with NeighborWorks Salt Lake. Just a couple things. We just come up with a cool new pamphlet and I set some over here that basically has majority of all of our services on it now. And we always had all these different flyers, so we're hoping this kind of like will make it simpler for us. And then on the back of the flyer, there's a little QR code, and if you do that, then it'll take you into every service we have. So we'll make it just like a one-stop flow flyer that kind of covers everything. So please check that out, grab one. If I need to get you more, I'll get you more. And let's see what else. And then Paint Your Heart Out is coming up in August again. That's an event that we paint people's houses for free. We're trying to do at least 15 houses this year. And so if you guys know anybody, like a neighbor or somebody that might need their home painted, please pass that word on, or you can nominate somebody too. If you got a neighbor and they're not sure how to like get signed up, you can nominate them and then we'll go out and meet with them and check them out and stuff like that. What else?
What's the deadline for that?
We try to like, I'd probably say June. I'm not sure what the cutoff date is,
End of June?
but we've taken homes later than that. Cause like sometimes things fall through the crack or something and so here's something I probably should share with you. We're not able to paint like really tall houses. We're not able to paint, we don't want to paint, homes that are brick that have never been painted before, because they're really difficult to paint. If it's already been painted once, then we're okay with it. Because it's volunteer based, we don't have the ability to get up on 2 stories with ladders and stuff like that. So nice little single family homes, 1 level, it's pretty simple for us. And let's see what else. I'm not sure if any of you guys have been over there lately, but our Multair Lanes project that's on 1000 West 200 South. Our team is mobilized over there. We broke ground finally. We've been talking about this for years and years and years. It took forever to get permits, but we're finally over there. If you drive by now, you're gonna see construction equipment and job trailers and stuff like that. And that'll be 13 brand new townhomes. Half of them are 3 bedrooms, half of them are 2 bedrooms. And then they're scheduled to be completed by March 1st of 2027. So I think that's about it but check out the flyer. I think this will share way more about it than what I could even possibly tell you in a couple of minutes. So any questions for me before I ride off into the sunset?
Thank you.
Okay, you guys are awesome. Thank you for
Neighborhood house. Hope you went to go grab something, like neighborhood house.
Sorry, yeah, I'm here. Before you leave, okay, obviously, I'm Brittany Proctor. I'm the community engagement coordinator for Neighborhood House. So I try to engage our community in volunteering. And we have awesome opportunities here for each one of you to participate in. So please take one of these, the QR code, you can see all the wonderful opportunities there are to volunteer here, okay? Wonderful. We do have an event coming up, May 21st. It's a family fun night. We have family fun nights every night for our clients and community. So in May 21st, it's going to be our sensory wellness. We're focusing on mental health. So we need some volunteers to help with the activities that are already organized and ready for you. All you have to do is just be there to lead the game or the activity. Okay, that would be great for you guys to sign up for. So take one of these and sign up. That'd be great. Okay, and the next thing is our summer celebration is another family fun night. Will happen June 12th. I believe I got that right. Yeah, June 12th from 4:30 to 6:30. Summer celebration for the whole community. Come and hang out at Neighborhood House. There's going to be lots of booths, lots of activities. It's going to be a great time for our community. Okay, so put that on your calendar. Okay. So the other thing I need to talk to you about is obviously Utah Gives. It's statewide nonprofit. Give to your favorite nonprofit. It's a day of giving. So please, since we are your favorite nonprofit, right? I have a flyer for you to take home and consider please donating to our cause. Obviously, we are making a huge impact just here on the west side, huge impact, helping families be able to go to work, having their children to be here, to be taught and supported and fed and everything. And then we're also helping with our adult population who have disabilities, who have dementia, Alzheimer's, giving a little rest to their family. So they're here all day and we do awesome activities with them, volunteer opportunities to play. I mean, we have karaoke, they're dancing. I mean, we're doing all sorts of fun things. So anyway, please donate. So first, Utah Bank is going to double whatever we raise. So very grateful for that. So please get the word out. Please visit our socials. Just share, please. This is such an awesome organization. I've only been here for a month and I am just, I'm elated. I knew this job was going to be awesome, but I'm just learning so much and it's just incredible what we're doing for this community for sure. Okay, so there's that. All right. Now I'm here to share a little problem. Ooh, a problem. How do we love those peacocks? Oh, we love the peacocks, we do. And so hence it's mating season, as you can tell, the males are just having some fun out there. We have eggs that are hatching, that are here. We get plenty of love here. So I'd like to hear from the community, what kind of have you seen lots of peacocks in your area, in your neighborhood, planting, laying eggs? Yeah.
That comes with the territory. Kind of used to it.
Used to it?
Yeah.
Okay, so we reached out to Tracy Aviary, yes, exactly, to get some help because we are having a problem. They love our garden. There's poop everywhere. There's babies hatching. Okay, so there's for us, I've been told it's a problem and that we, as a community, we would like to get some help, right? And I believe it's not just us. I think the community who's just living right over here in some other, streets as well, because they have to deal with all the eggs as well. So, reached out to Tracy Avery and they gave us a suggestion as to what we can do. I don't know if have you guys seen this in your area?
Could we relocate them to the bird refuge?
They didn't give us that option. They did give us two options. Collect the males and have them neutered. The other, is to replace the eggs with wooden eggs. So that the females, like that they are still, nesting. So, those were the options. But I'm just bringing this problem to the community here. As to how we can resolve, because it is getting out of hand. It is, an invasive species. It does affect the other birds here as well, with how many, peacocks there are.
So one thing that would help is there are local people who are actively feeding the birds over here on Goshen. And they have for years and years. And I think if people would not feed them and let the peacocks just find their own ranges, that it would probably help. And probably some of them do need to be relocated. But it's kind of tricky doing that because you, as far as I understand it, you have to do it at night. You kind of have to, like, when they're sleeping, throw a blanket or something over them and then move them to where you're going to move them. You can't just move them. I mean, it's really pretty tricky.
And it's hard on the birds.
It is.
Yeah.
On their way back.
They're smashing their eggs.
Yeah.
So, we do have one contact. Her name's Amy. I didn't get her last name, but she's part of the peacock protectors in the community. And she's aware of what's going on here with us. She has heard of complaints from other, community members as well. So I just wanted to bring it out, just talk about it, see what kind of options we can to alleviate the problem.
Is there a count? Does anyone have a count now? How many birds there are? Nobody knows.
Kind of the interview.
Because
In the past.
19. Yeah, we get plenty.
So in years
Are you on
past,
Goshen?
the population has dropped off for unknown reasons. Yeah. And then
Yeah,
they've come back and they've gone away.
I've never seen them this big though.
Yeah, right.
They've never been this big.
So I'm just saying that there has been an ebb and flow.
They've been here for longer than most any of us. This is their neighborhood, it's part of the brown floral thing, and yeah, we've had them in our yard
They've been
and
here for forever.
Yeah.
Some of the young recognize them as an established population. They're not considered invasive.
and we have dogs that we live right behind you over here on the other side of Fifth, and we had young ones come into our yard and our dogs got a hold of 2 or 3 of them and it killed them. This was
long
20 years ago.
20,
So those things.
3 years
happen as
ago.
Part of the natural ebb and flow, we talk about it, right? So some of them will get hit by cars when they get to, but it is part of the neighborhood, is what I'm saying. They are part of this neighborhood and
So, I mean,
I don't think
yeah,
completely.
I don't
removing
think
anything
she's
that-
saying.
The bird refuge has been vastly underutilized, and if we put in an established, population of new animals there, it's away from houses, they're not as loud, it's away from traffic. It might actually help the ecology and the ecosystem to relocate the bird population to the bird refuge over, it's in our neighborhood still, right? It's in our
Are you talking the fight?
Yeah.
No.
so how did
But they're
Tracy
not
Aviator?
wild birds, they're exotic birds. I don't know if they're what, I don't think they're,
Well, I wouldn't call them fully domesticated though. They're not domesticated and they're not necessarily like.
This is, what do you think about squirrels?
Yeah.
One of them actually, we're gonna be honest.
There we go.
Well,
See, on board with the animals.
I was really impressed with them when I got here. I mean, I came from Oregon and I was just like, what are all these peacocks? When I came in for the interview, I was like, what is going on here? They are really beautiful. I love
Couldn't we
them.
just like call
But-
it kind of Wheeler has population, like, isn't there a way to just like call some of the farms that, I don't know.
see if they want more.
Sounds horrible to say, like, you're not calling them. but,
No, you
like,
want to thin them out.
Yeah, we want to thin them out and like, some farms might take them and use them for their own.
State.
Yeah, like, yeah, we're gonna take them to a farm upstate, just.
Yeah.
Literally, not figuratively.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate these ideas. I do. I've written some down. I will talk with our contact from Peacock Protectors, and see what she says.
What about? Did,
Like the zoo?
so Tracy said to have them neutered. I mean, that's
Yeah.
maybe not a bad option.
No.
I think that's a great.
But I mean, how does one even,
Is there?
I mean,
It's a
specialized veterinarian and how much is that?
Right, they,
Like, how do we know which
cost-
one? Yeah.
and
Who did they use? Who did they recommend?
they had actually wanted us to, speak with its Parish Creek vet, Wasatch Exotic.
I've contacted Wasatch Exotics before when I had to take care of a baby squirrel last
Oh, yeah.
spring, so.
Okay,
Oh,
all right.
Well, thanks for
Thank you
bringing
very
that
much.
question up.
Appreciate
Yeah, it's a tough situation in the sense that like as a community, we love having them. But it's also, we love it when they're not in our yards and making messes. So especially neighborhood house who we can see they are. I mean, every meeting we have here, I mean, we're seeing dozens of them out here that it can be adding to the burden of the location.
Right, because our adults, they like to go out. Our kids, we want them to enjoy.
So I do a trap neuter return program for cats and there are humane cat deterrents. I bet, did they mention anything about humane bird deterrents? That would be facing, you know what I mean? I could look into
Active
different.
motion sensors and a little bit of lights and predator scaring
There's
things.
just
It really
different
does help.
things.
Yeah.
And
like-
even noises, if it's not a populated area. they're probably-
Sorry?
that's interesting.
Yeah. But it's,
Well, I mean, the elderly are getting mad at Peacock.
No, I'm saying like, so we just like.
so we'll just keep that in mind. And also, I mean, we have to remember that, again, we all share the neighborhood with each other. And I mean, if we had, I recently, as you know, because I was remote, I was in Hawaii for a while and they love their stray cats. I mean, I've never seen, I mean, we're talking in Laie, it was like chickens and cats, but like, I mean, we're talking like 60 cats all coming in the neighborhood, like there was one house that used to feed them all. And so it was kind of an issue, but anyways, as a neighborhood, we need to find that balance between what we love. I mean, we love the peacock. It's part of our logo now as a community council.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we also want to be respectful for our the human neighbors that live here as well. So thanks for bringing up those issues.
Thank you. Humane deterrents work because you put them in the places you don't want that animal. They could be sound-based, they could be scent-based, they can be, water-based, so motion, right? And then there are, like people have mentioned, people who love them in their yard, want them around. So that is the balance that can be struck and, yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Did you have anything from the library that you want to take 2 minutes? And are there any activities or things going on?
Yeah, and I can introduce.
And introduce yourself. So we have a new attendee today, so.
And I attended last month, but I was online, so no one saw me.
Oh.
My name is Lisa Jacobson. I'm the manager of the Chapman Library. So I just started there a few months ago, so it's been really interesting getting to know the neighborhood a little bit, and sounds like I need to have a conversation with some folks.
All day. Across the street.
Cool. One thing that I've been doing since I got there is I do a daily trash pickup. So you'll probably see me out there. Yeah, I'm out there with my hat and my grabbers, and part of the reason that I've been doing that is because I want the folks who are outside the building to know that we're there and we care. And I've really started to build some friendly relationships with some of our unhoused folks who are around there. So I'm hopeful that we can figure out how to mute some of these things that are happening. I'm really interested in talking about it later. So
Yeah, for sure.
yeah. But we do have a really fun thing going on this weekend on Saturday. It's our book fiesta, and it's primarily for kids. So if you have kids, at 2 o'clock, we'll be doing like a craft and photo stuff, and kids get a free book. And late breaking news, the Oscar Wiener mobile is going to be there. And if you've ever seen it, it's super cute and funny. So please drop by, get your photo taken with the Oscar Wiener mobile. And then at 3:30, we have Salt Lake Children's Theater doing an interactive live theater performance. They really engage all the children and have them participate and things like that. So I think it's gonna be super fun. Yeah, thank you for letting me
Yeah,
tell
of course.
people about it.
Great,
Okay.
thanks. No Fisher Mountain, Fisher Mansion is also a place near and dear in our hearts in our neighborhood, so, updates. I think we have an online yeah, Kendall. So we have a mural thing coming up. Kendall, are you in a place to unmute and say hi?
Yes, hello everybody. Let me see if I can get my video on too. I'm not feeling a little under the weather, so I'm at home, but joining you digitally. Um, Great. So yeah, here's the updated rendering. If anybody's got more feedback, please always send it my way. But yeah, we kind of added a few things here. Ended up changing the color of the flowers a little bit just to complement the birds a bit more. We swapped out what I didn't know was a super invasive species on the left side that Dan let me know. Please do not include that. We spent money getting rid of this. So swapped that out for some cattails. Yeah. And then I've swapped out the birds on the right side to match some fun photos that have been taken, some clouds, updated a sun to kind of accentuate Pearl's head a little bit more. But we also have dates now with that are the Love Your Block dates. Yeah, there you go. So June 12th and 13th, I think, are the main days that Love Your Block has, because they're only required to have volunteers and be actually present for one day of the entire project. So they're going to be there on either I think the 12th, most likely. But those days of the 30th and 31st, I will still need more volunteers there because I mean, I mapped it out. It's almost 800 square feet. So to be able to get if it's me by myself priming that whole wall, I'm gonna be there all night. So if there's anybody just in the neighborhood, friends, family, whoever wants to come and help get that wall primed on May 31st, that will be helpful. So kind of mark your calendars for those days and the more the merrier with how big this wall is. We can have, potentially 2 to 3 people at a time per each fence panel. So decent amount of volunteers would be fantastic to have. So yeah, does anyone have questions on that or?
What time on the 30th and 31st?
It's unsure exactly. That actually is a great question. We're working a little bit with the facilities department. I think of when we have access that Detective Oliver, I think, needs to be present, and then when they're unlocking gates. So we haven't fully determined, but I imagine that the power wash day will be pretty quick. But then the 31st day, I'm imagining will be like a evening, maybe like 4 to 7-ish potentially. Don't quote me on that, but that would be my best guess.
We'll put together like an online sign up thing that we'll put on our website, and we'll email that out like a Google form. If you're interested in being a volunteer, if you put your information there, and then we'll have like an email list so that we could update people when we have exact times and stuff.
Yeah, perfect.
I'll take a note so I remember to do that. Great.
Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, we're really excited about this this project and all those there's been a lot of work behind the scenes to make this happen. Normally murals don't go up on any public buildings a lot of times, like it's really hard to get that, but we know people. So yeah. And great. Thanks, Kendall, for the update. We mentioned this last week. I've reached out, I haven't heard back yet, but we're going to try to get some more updates on this. But just the power district developments that are going on. The last sort of public announcement they made was again partnering with field operations, field ops, who does really cool designs in other parts of the country, San Francisco, Seattle, New York. So nothing more new besides that they put the website up like days before our last meeting, and so we're keeping an ear to the ground to see any advancements there. My hometown, which is a service organization, they have different districts. We're in the west, and then if you go north a little bit more, they have the northwest, and then I think there's one in West Valley. There's a few of them around. And Central City has one too. But they're just doing a call for days of service. I think they're having one on Saturday. There's so much stuff going on Saturday. It's good.
Oh,
Like,
gosh.
but we just want to mention that if you go to myhometownslc.org/nominate Project Northwest, they have that. Or if you just go to the main page, I'm sure you can get around there. Or we'll throw this out there as well. But they're doing stuff. We saw them last night at the West Side Coalition annual meeting, and they asked us to promote this here. So we just want to make sure we mention that as well. Organizational input, just a reminder on our website that, you know, when we get stuff about like ordinance things and things that the city is trying to just get the word out about, we put it up on the website as well. If there's a new zoning thing, they ask for our input, but our input is basically, if you have input, usually we don't chime in unless it's something somewhat controversial or that we think is a big issue. A lot of times it's like, you know, vacating a alleyway or changing to allow a fourplex in a space that normally has a duplex or something like that. Sometimes there's a few times there's been some things like trying to put in a 10-story apartment building in our neighborhood that we talked about, and we decided we kind of wanted to push back on that. But usually you have just as much say as an individual. So whenever we post these on our website, it's basically has the email address that you can follow up with them, and your voice is usually heard just as much as our voice is heard with that as well. So make sure you're tuning in with that. And then so Saturday we have the thing at Chapman. We have this Days of Service thing. Glendale Neighborhood Council is also hosting their Art in the Park event, which is at the International Peace Gardens, which is pretty close there. They're having entertainment. We'll be tabling there as a community council as well. And then I also know that like the Japanese Nippon Festival is going on downtown as well. Did you have something else Saturday?
There's someone from the Sorensen Center here. So there's the first bilingual book festival at the Sorensen this Saturday. The mayor's office contributed to their funding sponsorship, and so it will be happening from 10:30 to 5, or I think 11 to 5, and there's a live performance at 4. So that's gonna be amazing. They have a full scheduled activity, so.
Well, that'll be, there's a lot, like, just head up and down 9th South, or 9th West. You can hit up the, you know, what times are your thing again?
2 to 5:30.
Oh, 2 to 5:30. So you start in the Peace Gardens at 10. And then like midday, you pop up to chat.
Go to Sorensen Unity
And then, but then you want to hit the 4 PM one down at Sorensen for, you know, your hop, yeah.
There's also like Democratic Caucus for like.
Oh, yeah, Democratic Caucus is happening. Sandy as well.
And a marathon, right?
Yeah, so April 25th is a good day to be a Salt Laker. There's too much to do, which is awesome.
There's a lot of birthday projects going on Saturday as well.
Yeah, I think that's why they did the day of service with the My Hometown, was trying to coincide with Earth Day stuff to clean up the earth.
They
you have something else?
have one that happened over at the 8th South Park behind Smith's and at the Fife Wetlands today. The city, I walked over there, there were hundreds of people planting trees and cleaning up trash, and it was an Earth Day cleanup.
It's great.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we're gonna move into our public presentations. Speaking of cleaning up. Yeah. Different kind of cleanup than a general neighborhood cleanup, but.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind just pulling up a map, I think that would be the most helpful.
So I thought for so. Let's see where.
Yeah, so just 22 South Jeremy Street, if you want to type it in. All right, so I'm coming to you guys from Salt Lake City's redevelopment agency. And a few years ago, we purchased the former Chauver's Electronics warehouse. It's a contaminated property. So through all the years of circuit board manufacturing, they had dumped some harmful chemicals in the sewer pipes, which leaked into the groundwater and into the dirt. And so we purchased that knowing that it was dirty. Flip around. Yeah, right here. So we purchased it knowing it was dirty, so we got a discount. And then we got about $500,000 grant from the federal government to clean this up. And so ever since we purchased it, we've been doing some inspections, soil sampling, groundwater sampling, this kind of stuff. And we finally have a cleanup plan that's approved by the state and federal government. And so I'm coming to you guys because we have a mandatory public comment period where if you are a specialist in environmental contamination and you're interested in reading through a several hundred-page document and providing input, you can do that. But I'm mostly here to tell you guys that it's happening. And so what we'll be doing basically is we'll be going in, and we have crews that'll go inside of the building. They will dig up underneath the concrete floor. They'll get some of the contaminated dirt, go dispose of it at a proper location. They will inject chemicals into the groundwater to neutralize the contamination. And then they'll test it for several months, make sure that it cleaned up, put in fresh dirt, cap it off. And then our goal with this property is to spruce it up a bit, rent it to some sort of business that could operate it, and then possibly sell it, possibly hold it, who knows? But the idea is to get it back into productive use and, you know, revitalize that area. So if anybody, does anyone have questions about that cleanup that we're doing?
What are is it heavy metals? What are the contaminants?
Yeah, I don't have those memorized. I think hexavalent chromium is the big one, if that has any meaning to you.
Yeah, that's a bad one. Yes.
Okay.
Sounds bad.
And if you think that's dirty, then we'll think to the north of it is even dirtier. We don't own that. We'd love to buy it, but crown plating, but.
It's even dirtier.
That it's pretty dirty, but we'd love to buy that and clean it up, but.
And it's the one that's right next to the railroad tracks, or is there something else in between them too?
No, it's right next to the railroad tracks, yeah. So yeah, that's happening. Want to let you guys know. So if you see crews this summer, that's what we're doing. We're cleaning it up. And then I want to go, can we go to a different spot?
Sure.
Let's go to, can you type in 864 West, 400 South?
Okay. Like near Folsom?
Yeah.
Yeah, right on Folsom Trail, right there. So 864 West.
But has it gotten into drinking water past that
No.
property?
No, so our environmental consultant has done, they go in, they drill into the dirt and they collect the groundwater and sample it. It has not spread onto neighboring properties. It's just isolated to our property.
Huh, okay.
It's
Okay.
heavy element, so it doesn't go anywhere.
Oh,
But yeah, unless you like ingest it, so like pick it up, and so it doesn't spread, but it does stay.
Yeah. So the next thing I want to tell you about is we purchased, so if you know the Tongan Methodist Church, here on 9th South 4th West. So we purchased quite a bit of land from them. On the northeast corner, there's this vacant lot that there used to be a Methodist church on decades ago.
burned down.
So burned down. I actually found the cornerstone for it.
Oh,
So if anybody has, I was thinking of, you know, we could offer it up to one of the Methodist churches around, but we'll see what we do with
To
it.
the Tongan Methodist, that's who it was.
Yeah, we'll see if they want it, but this house right next to it, we also purchased that, and that is being demolished tomorrow.
well,
What are you
So-
gonna do with that corner?
So we're hoping to do retail. It's a great corner for retail.
yes,
So-
we wanted something for years and years.
Better than a 10-story
Rooms ago, and you talked about this.
Yeah, yeah, so like,
You sat, because you sat next to me while we were tabling and we talked, and you basically talked about like possibly doing, like retail stores in that spot. I was wondering, when were you guys gonna actually do it? Because it's been a minute.
Yeah.
2 years.
so
Oh,
I'm not assigned to this site in particular. I've been assigned to the demolition. So I've like made sure that we're getting that demolition
Because
through.
were you guys also talking about getting right across the street, that like?
Yeah, right
We-
across the street.
We
they
did
bought
purchase
too.
that a few months ago. I'll tell you
Yeah,
about
you guys
that.
also got that across the street, so.
Yeah, but let's talk about this demolition.
okay.
Yeah, so this house has sat vacant since like early 2010s. Right, so we bought it 1 year ago approximately. And so it's being demolished tomorrow. It's gonna be a clean site. And I'm not in charge of the sale of this land and its development. One of my coworkers is. But I'm pretty sure that this will be the first thing that we put up for sale in this area is this corner here. And the goal will be retail. But before we put it up for sale, one of my coworkers will be asking all the neighbors through a postcard and through a survey, what type of retail would you want to see in this area?
We just don't want a 10-story apartment building right there.
Yeah, and the zoning wouldn't permit that anyway, so you're in luck there. Zoning permits 3-story
Maybe a
there.
peacock garden.
So just look out for that, look out for postcards, look out for surveys. They'll be asking you what you want to see there. And then the last thing in this area, so across the street, Daniel, what you're showing. So we also purchased just late last year in like December, we purchased a bunch of all these single family homes and the row house up to the freeway. So we basically have the entire south side of that block now because we also control the corner. And so my coworker, like I'm not in charge of this one either. My coworkers oversaw that acquisition. And I can tell you the long-term goal of that is also retail. It's very high visibility, great traffic counts. So retail businesses generally succeed when there's a lot of people going by and cars and bikes and walking and stuff. So right now they're talking about like, do we demolish? Do we try to repurpose? These buildings are in pretty bad condition, so I don't know what's gonna go on.
So when the city bought that or whoever, whatever your group is, there were actually people living in those homes.
Yes, yes. So we paid some moving expenses. And also we had some like county health inspections going on there and a few of them were not fit to live in. I'll just say that.
Oh,
Some like meth contamination, some infestations, these kind of things.
Well, that house is on the west side.
But yeah, we bought them. So look out for some surveys. They'll be sending out postcards. They'll be asking surveys, what kind of stuff you want to survey.
We're just driving around the neighborhood.
I know, you're like moving too fast.
Yeah. So does anyone have questions about that?
What about the southwest corner, the Old Nest Floral Building that was recently demolished?
That's Salvation Army.
Yeah, they own
they're
it.
developing it.
We don't know what they're doing. I don't know. They'd
I
have to
don't
tell
think
you.
they know what they're doing with
You only
it.
have those two, like,
I had heard.
east corners, right?
Yeah, we have the 2 east corners, plus on the south side, everything up to the freeway.
Okay, so that right here.
Yes.
So are you gonna do like something similar to what you see on like, I don't say. Like 9 South, when you go up like 9 line, how they have all those like new developments? Where it's just a bunch of like residential, you have bars, cafes, restaurants.
Yeah.
That's what honestly,
I think
I want that.
Ice cream
Yeah,
shop.
I think that's a really good example. That's what the zoning allows. So the zoning is, I think it's RMF 35, which means 3-story height limit, and it could be retail, multifamily, office, whatever. So what we do through the RDA, when we purchase land like this, we put it up for sale with requirements. So like, that's what we did over at 1410 West Indiana. If you remember, like a year or two ago, we put it up for sale and we said, this has to be retail. So that's the same kind of thing we would do here, but it all depends on what developer is willing to purchase this and take the financial risk to make it happen. And so we can dream up anything we want to, but at the end of the day, it has to be profitable for a developer who's willing to purchase and take on that risk.
No.
Oh, okay.
What?
So.
The beautiful thing about this would be people trying to go to businesses at a freeway entrance, right? I see that being an issue. For whatever development, whatever gets put there, house.
Walkable.
Huh?
It's gonna be walkable,
Well,
likable.
Yeah, it has to be. That has to be a consideration.
Yeah.
The freeway is a big deal.
Well, that's one benefit to owning the entire piece here, because I'm gonna point really quick, because there's also an alley access.
Oh.
And so if you were to do like a pretty decent, let's say, strip style retail where you've got a lot line, single to 3-story building, like right on the sidewalk. So you get that nice pedestrian wall. You could have a parking lot hidden in back there, and you could have alley access to it.
And also, just really quick.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do about this? Cause we just got a mural on here
from another grant that like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
tear down.
Yeah, please, no, I hope not. I don't want to tear it down. It's a good.
So
deal.
yeah, I don't, yeah, there's no plans.
Wait. I'm chiming in on the microphone. Are you guys talking about the arcade mural?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was part of the grant that we knew when that went in that it was potentially only a 2-year lifespan, and that was in the grant permitting, just so that is something that people are aware of.
Oh, so you give us art for 2 years and you tear it down?
Yeah, we when we went in for the grant for that building, they said, hey, this is probably going away. And they said, we don't care for 2 years while this one structure still stands, we're gonna do it. And they said, great, we don't have to worry about a maintenance plan, let's do it.
Well, let me just clarify that there's no planned demolition yet on that south side. It could happen, it might not happen.
Yeah, like,
I don't know, that's
why
not.
don't you like gut it out and turn it into like a brewery? They already have like a beautifully painted wall.
Yeah.
Around a terrible building.
Theater.
It is a former gas station that was contaminated historically, so
Okay, so years ago, I went to the RDA and said, I wanted to collect up some land on Redwood Road for a grocery store. And I was told specifically that the city doesn't buy land for retail use.
RDA.
Redevelopment?
yeah, if it's in an RDA project area, we do that. We
Well,
will do that.
okay, but the point is that of all the things that we need here, there was once acreage, which is in that RDA zone now, it wasn't an RDA zone then. That has all been taken away. And while this is great, it would sure be nice to have the city actively looking for us a place to put a grocery store. That's a problem here, and for being told for a decade that we don't do retail, and then to hear about this, it's kind of frustrating. Because the one thing we do need, we're not gonna get. Because we're running out of space. And are you guys thinking about this? We have 22,000 people here in this zip code. And one grocery store. In other zip codes with 16 or 18,000 people, they have 4 or 5 grocery stores. So that's how bad it is. What are you guys doing about it?
Yeah, so what we can do, since we have a pretty big site, that is something that we could require in this land sale. If you guys,
Well, there's not
neighbors,
enough room for a grocery store there.
I guess we'd have to find another site, but there are small grocery stores that exist on a footprint like this. You know, like a Trader Joe's. I'm not saying Trader Joe's come here. I'm saying that smaller grocery stores do exist.
I already tweeted us. We're getting a screen.
So,
Gonna cut it.
yeah, so if you guys are interested in having grocery on this site, what you could do is when that survey comes out.
No, there's no
just
room for a
say
grocery store there.
A grocery store
As in your department,
Mhm.
if you're actively buying up land, look for a place for us to have a grocery store.
Mhm.
The city was not game for that. They just didn't care. When you do it, no one would look at that. So what, can we actively pursue that? If you're buying up property?
Yeah, so that would be something to ask Councilmember Fui.
No, he doesn't know.
He controls our money. And so,
Oh,
yeah,
really?
so
Okay.
that's.
Yeah, so we'll keep this on, again, Austin's here to present on these locations. And maybe if he has a say to share it, but I don't, it sounds like we're not talking to the right person for those.
No, well, no,
I think the best
I
thing-
didn't know that he held them first string for a grocery store. He's heard
Not
that.
for,
already.
for land
No.
acquisitions, right, for land acquisition.
He's for our area or? as
No,
one of-
he's one of 7 voting
Right,
members of the
okay.
RDA
Just
board.
one.
So
Sure, I'm just making
whenever we
sure.
go to ask for permission to buy land, we have to have the city council approve it. They approved this acquisition. So yeah, what I'm saying is if you guys want some kind of small grocery here, that's something you could say in the survey.
So with
More
the
big
survey,
ones,
I mean,
like
is that just gonna
Metro or
be
something.
submitted? Are you gonna like, those are the projects you're gonna look for, or just more of like it's like a suggestion from the community? It's like, you guys will still sort of have overall
Yeah.
control over who you're gonna let build there. Cause like if we say, hey, we want like boutiques and little shops or whatever.
Yeah.
But then some developer shows up, and like, I just want to build luxury condos right here. And you're like, all right, cool, sweet, you wouldn't bid.
Yeah, no, so what we would do, this is what we did at 1410 West Indiana, sent out postcards to you guys. I came to this meeting.
Yeah.
I said, what do we want? What do you want on this land? You guys said, restaurant, coffee shop, third space, like something for people to gather at and enjoy time together.
Yeah.
And so when we released that land for sale, we said it has to be retail and you have to focus on some kind of, food and beverage service. And so we got 2 applications on that sale. One of them was a home builder that just wanted to do a bunch of small houses. And we said, no, thank you. And the other one was Crossroads Urban Center that was going to consolidate its operations and have a 2,000 square foot leasable retail space. And so that's why we picked that one, is because you guys said you wanted.
Do we have any updates on that?
Yeah, so they have, their plans are final. They have a general contractor. They have a submitted for building permit. They have changed up their financing, so they're applying for this big, it's called New Markets Tax Credit with the federal government, which will give them like $1.8 million in just federal money just as a grant. And so that's their plan A right now, is to get the New Markets Tax Credit to pay for this and then start construction when that's done. If they don't get it, their backup plan is just to use traditional bank lending and make it happen that way. But they'd prefer to get $1.8 million free money if they can get it. So that's why it's delayed a bit, because they're trying to get that big grant first.
Do you give like a deadline for them, just like get these built, or is it just kind of like, you allow them to do it, they have, indefinite amount of time as long as it gets built?
So
or are you like, hey, you got 5 years to actually like do this project, otherwise like your contract's null and void, and then we'll go put ourselves back out for bidding?
Yeah, we generally look for someone that can start within 2 years. These guys are still within that timeline. And like I said before, the only other bid we got on this land was from a home builder just to build some houses. And so we would rather, work with these guys for a couple of years than like cancel the contract and hope and pray that someone else.
Like, what would it hurt for you than just like still work with that, but then submit more like open up more applications for other builders, right? Like, isn't the whole point of the thing, not like home builders, but like if they're gonna work on it, they're taking their time, like there comes a point where it's like dragging their feet and we're not really gonna get stuff done, but like wouldn't it help be like, hey, we're just gonna like submit more, see what other requests we get in, like maybe you might get other people that have ideas come in and they already have their financing, they're ready to go within the next 6 months. And like their idea,
Maybe we can ask Crossroads to come back and comment on their process.
Yeah,
I know it takes a long time to get permitting. I mean, I'm sure they're going through their process. I'm excited to see what they do. But
yeah, their plans are done. Right now, it's just the money, just the financing. They're hoping to get that big federal grant. If they don't get it, they're just gonna use bank financing, and they'll have to fundraise to pay off that loan, which they plan to do in the beginning anyways. But that's.
And I think just to address the question, I think it's just a matter of ethics of whether, once you get a contract with someone, you gotta follow through. I mean, I understand the concern about it being, a certain time limit.
Like, it's not like I'm not saying you do that, right? Don't be a prick. What I'm saying is like, also just like maybe when you're doing these you're trying to get people to do these builders, you do set a timeline. Because the problem is like on the west side, you're so used to all these empty promises and all these great amenities that we're gonna get, and they never come to fruition. And they're always waiting for people. We're still waiting for a book block. Like we're waiting for things to happen. And rather than just like, because it almost comes like, oh, we're gonna have to build on the west side, like, we're only getting 2 applications. Like it's, all these less amount of people trying to like come and do stuff on this side. Then like, why don't you set a time limit and then you just reopen it up to see if there's other interest now that more people might have funds or other, I don't know, think tanks that come up with better ideas to do with that, rather than just like.
Is that possible?
Yeah, so we have an exclusive negotiations contract with these guys right now, meaning like we're only dealing with them. We can only deal with them. At some point,
this is not for these guys.
I
meant for like all future projects, like if you're gonna keep buying up land on the west side, when you're putting out like for, to ask us for where input's gonna be. And you're gonna then submit, look for requests to come in and applications. then like, maybe as part of your process, you just be like, hey, we will award you this, right? You can have this land, but you gotta give it to us in like 4 years, right? Like, you should have a month, like, there's good intentions and there's just like, you know, just
Stringing.
stringing along until like,
Yeah.
nothing ever comes out.
Can I ask one more thing about that?
Yes, last question, and we got another.
That, on the intersection there, is that supposed to be retail on the ground level and apartments above it, or is it just retail? Are we focusing on just retail?
So that's to be determined, and that's gonna come from public input from you guys. I will say the feeling that I'm getting from like council members and my coworkers and stuff is retail is the top priority. And if housing comes, that's fine, but like retail is the main thing. There's a lot of housing everywhere. Apartment vacancies are up, rents are down. So I just wanna end this backward.
And I was just gonna say, if there's any questions, is it like, should they contact you? Should they contact RDA? Who should they? If
About which
people have-
side?
Just like if people have concerns in general. Like, what's the best plan for if people want to give feedback on any of these like things?
On any of these things, so you could just contact the RDA, you just go to the website, there's a phone number, there's a general email address. Like I said, I'm overseeing this Showers Electronics cleanup. I'm also overseeing the demolition that's happening tomorrow, 2:00. You wanna go watch the demolition? 2:00.
You're gonna blow it up?
Firefighters gonna.
Did you sell all the brick off of that?
They don't do that anymore.
We have a salvage guy that takes things before done. If you know George's Salvage on 9th South, 5th East.
I saw them taking all.
Yeah, he takes things and he resells them, he like salvages.
You're gonna demolish houses that like stack up the freeway too, on the south.
That's to be determined, and I'm not in charge of that one, so I couldn't say.
Can I just make, if you're done, I just wanted to make one comment.
Does it relate to this or just?
Yeah,
Okay.
about retail and businesses, small businesses in our neighborhoods. We had one right on the corner of 5th South and 900 West. And it was Joaquina's, and they sold crepes and they sold banana splits and they sold pozole. And they had amazing food. And the people, it was a family-owned business, but our community didn't really support it. And they were Hispanic, and I think they left because of ICE. And you know, they kind of self-deported. But what I'm saying is, I loved that place. It was great. I loved the people. But we don't support our businesses like that, you know? People are worried because there's the names in Spanish, but it's really good food, really good people. And you know, the Hispanic community have been the ones to set up businesses here. They're the ones that operate businesses here and to serve the community. And a lot of times we're like, oh, too many of those businesses, but at least they do it, you know? And anyway, I just wanted to say that.
Okay,
Here.
all right, thanks, Austin. All right. We have Robin Tessa, come on up. Super quick.
Okay, so we got a letter block grant for a crosswalk on, yeah. It's May 16th. Rob designed it, so we're gonna talk about designs.
So, it's puzzle pieces. You'll notice one of them.
Tetris.
Yeah, so these are pentominoes, pentominoes. They're 5 spaces. One of them looks like Utah, and that one always has drawn me.
Oh.
And so yes, exactly. So these are, Poplar Grove is part of a larger community, and we are all part of a community, and we all fit together like puzzle pieces. And so we wanted to make sure to highlight it. It's the same colors as the pillars in the tot lot, so that maintenance is a little bit easier. So we're painting it on May 16th. So fit will be closed for just that day.
So just,
yeah.
I think it would have been cool if you'd done all 4.
Maybe we'll get funding for that.
Yeah, we only have funding for one.
So much money.
That would be so great.
Here.
Yeah, like every year was just submit something for the top.
We did this because Diego and Bethany applied for a larger kind of traffic calming grant that wasn't ultimately approved. So this was a little bit easier to kind of highlight that a lot of people walk in this neighborhood and we want to make sure that they are walking safely and seen, so.
Do we need volunteers?
No, we are.
Please come by and say hi.
Yeah.
Come paint a stripe and we'd love to see anyone who wants to come show us.
I love it.
Great, so that's good. We're right, I mean, yeah, we didn't have a lot of present, last month was like overflowing and this month was just regular flow. Any public comment or concerns that, well, we already had one, any others that people have? Oh, not officially, Cosmo's the Cosmosaurus.
Cosmos the dinosaur.
Yeah, is a large metal dinosaur sculpture that's going to be eventually housed in the granary area. That's where the creator was. But that space is not even close to being finished. So we've been working behind the scenes to get him moved here into the roundabout here on 1000 West and 700 South. It'll be a temporary installation for like at least 5 years.
For me now.
And there are rumors that it might be getting installed as soon as next month, but we didn't get official word, so we didn't want to announce it here. But just it maybe will happen in May. So if you keep your ear out, we will send out a separate email. So if you're not on our mailing list, go to poplargroveslc.org and sign up on the mailing list. We try not to send out too many announcements, so we send out like a reminder like yesterday that we have a meeting today, and then like we'll send out a recap. So you're not getting a ton of emails from us.
When he gets here, we gotta like go big on social media and like really showcase and so people wanna like come over.
Yeah, so the plan is if we do have that, we'll try to have a little celebration outside of it going up and stuff. So that should be kind of cool to have a piece of artwork. And again, from the community council's point of view, we want to have something housed there for now, but eventually we'll want to get our own unique statue. Again, we're pushing for a peacock statue there down the road somewhere. But awesome. I just want to say thank you all for being involved. I know sometimes we have complaints, and this is the room that is like the best people in the neighborhood to hear that kind of stuff, because you're the ones that care enough to show up to meetings and to have an opinion on things. So we're glad you're here. Try to stay involved. These months have a lot of activities going on. It's a great time to live in a vibrant city with a lot going on. And as a community council, we appreciate you guys being involved. And if you'd like to be more involved, even if you don't want to be like on the board, but you just want to participate in certain things, we have events, we have things that are happening. We could always use an extra hand. We have for example, we have the tabling that we'll be doing at the Glendale Neighborhood Council's event, the Art at the Park event. And we have a couple people tabling, but if you, for example, wanted to come help for a little bit, just drop a message and we'd love to have you like talk about the community council and try to get the word out to more of our neighbors about that. So thank you all for coming. And with that, we'll wrap up the meeting. So have a great day. We'll adjourn until next time.
We had it scheduled